Okay, so Brawl, for those of you that are not familiar, is the Commander slash EDH variant that's available in the historic format on Magic Arena. For those that aren't sure what that means, it's a 100-card singleton format where you have a Commander, Legendary Creature, or Planeswalker as a card that you always have access to, that when it dies or gets countered, you can recast it again later for +2 mana, and then your deck can only contain cards that are the colors of your commander. So we've got Huatli Warrior Poet here, makes some dinosaurs, deals some damage, and gains us some life, and she's the commander of this kind of red-white, mid-rangey controlling deck. So the top end of our curve, we've got lots of powerful dragons and planeswalkers, got some friends like Velomachus, and we've got a lot of quality interaction down here at the bottom. Things like Swords to Plowshares and Lightning Bolt are legal in this format from the Strixhaven archives. So let's go ahead and dive. Let's check the land count. Oh no, sorry. Before we dive into the game, for people that aren't familiar, I've been taking decks from the community to play because there's been lots of sweet ideas. And the number one thing people don't do, let's play my least favorite game. Let's add 3 to 4 lands to someone's commander deck because people hate casting their spells. Yeah, so like there's a couple of things in here that like help us hit land drops a little more consistently, but like 34 plus like 2 plus 3 or 4 other things that help you hit land drops, that's not nearly enough, chat. Added 8 drop, you say? Yeah, something like that. Honestly, I probably want to add 4 lands to this. Remember, you're always going to have a 5-drop in this. It's realistically always going to be a 7-drop because it's probably going to die at least once. So put more lands in your decks, chat. Put more lands in your decks. Let's trim some of the weaker removal spells here, I think. Let's add 3 lands to start. Let's filter and make sure they didn't miss any utility lands. 6 of 24 months, Wumbo. They've got all the creature lands and stuff in here at least. We've got that going for us. All right, looks like they actually hit all of the duels, so that's good. Let me take a second to get some foil basics in here too. All right, 37 lands plus some ramp plus like 4 split cards. We're at like 41 lands plus ramp. That might even still be on the low side, but let's start there for now. Again, for people that aren't good at translating ratios, 40 lands in your Brawl deck, your 100-card deck, is the same as playing 24 lands in a 60-card deck. So if you look at the curve of your deck and think to yourself, I would want to play 25 or 26 lands in this deck if it was 60 cards, you should be playing 40 plus lands in your deck. 41, 42, 43, etc. Hey, thanks for the 19 months, Goat Nap. Welcome back. We just break their toy. Cracking that chest. You mean the what's it called thing on the side? I'm blanking on the thing we make fun of. The vault? Probably. Unfortunately, we don't have untapped white for him, so I guess we'll just go treasure map into Bolt Land here, get our scrying going on. Pierogi, thanks for the 6 months. Welcome back. Morning, good morning. Opponent also playing something more controlling here with Niv Mizzet. They are missing a land drop, though. Kind of want untapped White Stars so we could drop Blackblade this turn. So 24-month Skull Golly, good morning. Let's get Brainstorm next turn, so I think we just chill. And then we can scry one of the cards we brainstormed to the top to the bottom with Treasure Map, which is kind of sweet. Hey, Steel Wolf, thanks for the brand new Prime support. Welcome to the channel. Wait to do that till next turn. I have triple white already, but I think I want, especially with the Cavalier, I think I want fourth white more than third red. Morning here, same. Got me. So they can flip their treasure map and cast Niv this turn if they want to burn all the treasures. But that seems pretty aggressive. Because those treasures could theoretically turn into cards down the line. Charbelcher made the Modern Challenge top 8. That's funny. Throw this Wrath of God on the bottom. Flip this over. I think we want to hold on to this for after they play Niv. So I'm going to go ahead and drop Baneslayer here. Honestly, this getting Memory Lapse seems like a win for us. Because, like, they burn through all of their treasures as mana, which means they don't get to draw cards with them. Morning, Twin. That's very good. So I have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 mana total here. Ooh, maybe I'm supposed to discard that land to thrill a possibility. Well, I guess I can do Huatli Gideon. It's probably the play, actually.
Listen, you think they cheer for you?
You shall be erased from history.
Erase them from the history.
I will defend the weak at every opportunity.
Oh, this isn't the Prevent Gideon. This is the, give a keyword Gideon. Too many 3-mana Chads, chat. Alright, so they have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 mana total here. Here comes Niv. If they have a cheap cantrip, we're going to be in trouble here. They're through their brainstorm already.
Do not frighten me.
Oh, we left Huatli alone. Deal. So we have 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 mana here. All of their lands make every color of mana extras.
They're with me.
Yeah, I guess we start here and we get Pact of Negation and then we Cavalier. Or do I Cavalier to try and get the Pact and then Baneslayer? I think that's the line. Because killing this doesn't actually do a ton, right? Because I have so much mana. Their commander generating card advantage and ours not. Feels like a rough beat.
Mere luck.
Their strength is your strength.
Alright, no additional counterspell there is good for us.
Prepare for battle.
This is the tough part. Like, their deck is... This obviously keeps us from attacking us, but their deck has so many instants and sorceries that I'd be surprised if we're able to power through here. I'm gonna go ahead and do this so I can just start auto-passing.
Bring it on.
Yeah, we're dead here. Let's just go to the next one.
I can take a hit or two.
Is Niv Mizzet the bad guy? He's like a mid-tier power level commander. Seems fine. I feel like there's a chance we just end up kind of getting bigger fished in... We just end up kind of getting bigger fished in these controlling matchups. Alright, I deserve that. I just assumed they were a control deck. Yeah, that's been my experience too, extras, especially the weaker planeswalkers like Red-White Huatli that we're playing. Their algorithm tends to put them into higher brackets than I think they should. Quite frequently. Alright, well, we technically could miss a land drop, but if we do miss a land drop, this gets us out of it, which is nice. Okay. Just kill this before it gets going. Looks like something pretty aggressively slanted here with Gideon as the commander. Play our distraction planeswalker out here.
From the share in my life.
Hopefully they hit their land drop this turn so we can gift to the estates. I guess they could level Paladin class and just hit Gideon twice.
No, I don't think so.
That's so unfortunate. Maybe we shouldn't have played our third land. So we can make sure gift to the estates is guaranteed to happen.
I walk a righteous path. Your light will cleave the darkness.
I probably should have targeted this, right? They could have made this indestructible so I didn't have a good block.
That's enough. I will lend you my strength.
So might as well attack with this. Pfizer's vaccine is fully FDA approved. Hopefully that'll help some people get over their fear. I would be very happy to eat my words on what I'm about to say, but I'd be incredibly surprised if people who have vaccine hesitancy change their mind because of the full FDA approval. And instead don't simply slide that goalpost further on down. Because I'm sure people that don't trust the doctors that have been telling them the vaccines are safe, those people really tend to trust the government, right? That was the group that was going to make sure to convince them.
Curse the darkness.
Curse the darkness. Maybe I should have attacked with this turn. We might actually be able to take a more aggressive role this game. Could have been right to attack rather than playing defense. The government is right when they agree with me. I went to the liquor store and it required some type of age passport thing in order for me to buy anything. What has happened to America? Yep. Yep. For people that don't keep up on your political news, Donald Trump held a political rally in Alabama over the weekend. And when he suggested to his rally that they should get vaccinated and the vaccine was good, they booed him. The MAGA people booed Donald Trump, which is a good general reminder that Donald Trump didn't really so much inspire or create the group of awful people that he peddled himself to. He simply understood what they wanted to hear and told those awful people what they wanted to hear. He didn't create the monster, he just decided to feed it and appease it. I think we trade these here. And honestly, I think with Inferno in play, we're probably at a point... I guess Gift is probably useless, right? Yeah, there were a lot of people, especially, you know, people in the Republican Party that were trying to pass their institution off as not being very drastically damned and awful, who would be like, well, Trump's an aberration. It's like, no, Trump's the natural conclusion of what your party's been pushing towards for decades. Well, I'm really glad we kept the Cleansing Nova against that. You know, actually, are we destroying artifacts and enchantments? Is that the line? We draw untapped land, we like destroy artifacts and enchantments? I think that's gonna be the play. Let's play Chandra here and murder Radine. And then she gives us mana next turn to get rid of all of these, right? We'll have to lose these as well, but it's definitely a worthwhile exchange.
Stop, drop, and roll won't help you, buddy.
It's not gonna help you, buddy. No, Bluefire, there are definitely a lot of people, and you can find various clips of this, where they talk about how Trump is the exception and not the rule. And that's really just not the case if you've been... Trump just started saying all the quiet parts out loud.
I don't need this.
He didn't do anything they weren't already doing. Alright, so... we're spending these treasures because they're going to go away anyways. So let's do this and say goodbye artifacts and enchantments. And then we can play this out. And then we can attack for 9 here. And get a scry in still. That is true. Abhorrent and Aberration are not mutually exclusive. They keep getting priority. It could just be Faceless Haven's activation. Wonder what's in their hand. Do they have a lot of expensive cards in their aggressive deck? I'm kind of impressed we won that one. Definitely felt like we were behind for a little while. The Radine. Oh, that was Tomb. It wasn't Treasure Map. You're right. Tomb is like fixed Treasure Map in a way. Because in my head, that was a Treasure Map that took a mana to scry. .007. So almost assuredly a control deck. Do I keep this against a control deck? I think I'm going to. Yes, that. If it was, because it was the tome, I should have drawn a card instead of pumping for 1 to begin with, is accurate. In my head, I was casting a treasure map.
Gods of this world are worthy. You'll have to get through me first. got nerve.
Thanks for the bits, Blue Fire. Because dog. I would love a card. Thank you, opponent. Read. His Teferi's protection doesn't seem particularly exciting here. Try and hit a land drop here. I'm definitely gonna put. I'm gonna go put another land in our deck, maybe even two. I should have listened to my gut. Especially in these commander decks where you want to play these 5-mana spells, you realistically want to get to 7 and even 9 so you can cast your commander twice. Thrilling. These various discard to draw cards don't seem super exciting. Just add one more of each basic. Well, I guess I could add some other colorless utility lands. Let's do that actually. And play a Blinkmoth Nexus, maybe? We just be boring and play a Field of the Dead. That's probably the correct thing to do. Our deck's kind of controlling. And then we'll cut 4 of each of these and put in some Snowlands. Relatively new player, should I craft good decks this rotation, or should I wait for the next one? Well, rotation is coming in less than a month, so I would definitely not recommend crafting decks for the current normal standard format. There's a queue called Standard 22, which you can find a playlist of lots of fantastic decks for that format up on my YouTube channel. And crafting decks for that is a pretty reasonable thing to be doing, because those are all sets that aren't going to be rotating. If you're looking to play something like this format, Historic Brawl, or we're going to play some regular Historic after this this set, those are also decent things to craft, because those formats don't experience rotations at all. Gift to the Estate's actually really good against Gitrog monster deck, because they're almost assuredly going to be ramping, huh? Yeah, no problem, Steel Wolf. Just gonna keep hitting my land drops here. Their commander is one that wants them to get a bunch of lands into play, and then they draw cards whenever lands enter their bin. Also lets them play out additional lands, so kind of offsets that land sacrifice it does every turn. Start making some 3/3 friends here.
to thwart evil. No more, no less.
Maybe I'm supposed to have
To consider your actions.
a one Monk of the Open Hand in our deck. It just is a weak, low-quality card to draw when you don't have this to pick it up. So they get to draw a card with their Fabled Passage with Gitrog. If they play out an additional land this turn, we can Gift of the Estates. Because they now have more lands than us since this accelerated them. I just clicked and did that. I think that's fine, though. We'll just do this turn.
Your part in this story is almost over.
Make a Dino Friend. Make this not attack or block. Huatli's a nice little parade of Dorkos here. Oh, wow. That's super punishing for not playing Gift of the Estates last turn. They only draw one card, but I'm not going to get to draw my planes now.
I can intervene no longer.
I only have 3 white, so unfortunately I'm unable to Cavalier and Helix the token this turn. I'm 2 off of recasting this. I'm just gonna deck this and attack for 6, I think. Yeah, my sequencing on not doing the gifts is real awkward with this Lotus Field. See if there's a useful spell on top. We're pretty far off of this at this point. It's actually not terrible. Could we put them out? So this does 1 to a player planeswalker and 1 to a creature they control it can't block. So if they play Gitrog and do nothing else this turn, we end step Helix them, untap Pyromaster 1/1, crack them for 6, they die. They have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 mana total. Yes, I will not be streaming Arena tomorrow. There's like 5 or so hours of scheduled downtime.
I know more than you could learn in 1,000. Bathe in ghost fire.
Bathe in the ghost fire. What's going on, Pseudo Pally? Thanks for the 13 months. I appreciate you re-upping that Prime and keeping me around. Yeah, I think you're right that maybe leaving the Eldest around was fine. Because we have this we want to discard anyways. Think you're correct, Cody. Post the J, thanks for the 16 months. Welcome back. Alright, spin them tires. You dead to this dragon? Huatli's Dinosaurs did a lot of work this game. Really allowed us to assume. I think the opponent's deck is definitely favored as the game goes long. And Huatli's 3/3s there has definitely let us take that aggressive role that we like to see. Yeah, sounds great. But I was playing Vraska Relic Seeker. Look at these boomer planeswalkers, chat. This is why this format's sweet, right? When was the last time anybody cast either of these cards, right? We have ourselves a good old-fashioned Ixalan Planeswalker mirror match here. Mirror match. Yeah, Vraska seems sweet. Planeswalkers, having your commander be removal is guess. Is this a spell or a land? This is probably gonna draw my. This might be a spell this game. Yeah, I agree. I have a soft spot for Ixalan too. Ixalan was like standard legal when Magic Arena was at its peak. Gives me warm fuzzies. We just reunion ditch these here, right? Without first strike, double strike, or vigilance. Darn. Darn. Keyword monster gets around that. Deal. I won't have. I just make 2 4/4s? I think I just make 2 4/4s, right? Good call on this being a spell. It's for the 39 months, Time Lord. Welcome back. Well, that was rude. Shouldn't get to spend 3 mana to kill my 7 mana play. Can we just go ahead and murder this Storko here? Exploded. We're gonna cycle this one. And at this point, do I want a Luca, actually? Want a Luca. Let's get Huatli going first, because she pumps out tokens that can pressure their commander if they play it. Also, if they kill this, we could recast it. I think this might be a Wayward Bonder game. I could have played Mila here.
the song of fame.
Sing the Song of Fame. 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. So this is 9. So I can Grandmaster and Sarkhan here. That is true. The fact that they already used their Maelstrom Pulse is good against all these other permanents.
We begin. Behold!
Yeah, we've played Thragtusk in actual factual historic before too. Inside of green white blinky stuff.
Go ahead. Beg for mercy.
Beg for mercy.
The day is yours.
Makes it not block either, right? Yeah. We get to do this.
Perhaps learn some
We get to make a friend.
Feast on their
Get to
flesh.
plus
To the
this.
skies.
Hey, the gang's all here, chat.
Reinforcements are on their way.
Make noble choices.
Grandmaster of Flowers kind of has, what's it called? Vibes? Ghost of Tsushima vibes around him. Well, that's rude. Wait, you're killing my Grandmaster of Flowers and not my Sarkhan? Deal, I accept. I accept your terms and conditions.
My way now.
Time to change tactics.
Come, sing the song of fame.
Were they dead? No, I didn't quite have lethal, right? I was a little short. Even if I made this not block, I still only had 15, right? Huatli's minus X for reference makes things not block. For those of you that don't know, historic staple Huatli warrior poet.
I will be where my people need me.
My people, they need me. Her down tick makes a treasure too. It's pretty sweet. Yeah, probably Beansy. Although I've heard some people say Tiergear ends up in the sweatier bracket. Not sure how true that is necessarily. Was Huatli ever standard playable? I mean, we played it on this channel occasionally. So to answer your question, no, not really. What's going on, Nannerjack? Thank you for the tier 2 and for the 38 months. I appreciate you sticking around. Yeah, Tiergear's like the black version of Brawl, basically, right? Just like mono discard spells and mono counter spells. I guess I probably want to Chandra next turn. Play the Mind Stone. I think one suggestion I heard on the internet that I really liked for this format was they should just let you have a list of commanders you don't want to play against. Because if you're gonna auto-concede when you queue into various commanders anyways, you might as well just, like, save everybody some time, right?
When people start screaming, I know
I don't, logistically, I don't know how difficult that is to program. It's probably not easy, from a queuing standpoint. Yeah, but like, you know, a lot of the times I'm playing decks, I'm just going to concede if we queue into Golos anyways. You might as well save that Golos player some time and, like, not make them queue and have me concede.
Well, that was a disaster.
Yeah, but, like, the point is, it doesn't make them more unplayable than they otherwise wouldn't be if you were just going to concede anyways, right? Like, there's no prizes for this queue. The only purpose of playing this queue is to play for fun, and if you are going to auto-concede when that commander comes up on the other side anyways, why even let people queue into it? Thanks for the 2 years, Thomas. I appreciate that. Welcome back. I do think Springsburg that the biggest leap or improvement they could be making with the deck strength matchmaking is they need to consider cards in the deck a lot more than they do. I think they put way too much weight into what specifically your commander is and not enough weight into the other cards in your deck. Alright, so I'm going to Cathartic, and I'm going to ditch Acolyte of Flame, I think, here. I think I'm ditching the Amaria's Call, too. Little greedy, but we're pretty likely. Okay, that's not terrible either. So what do I want to do now? So I could deck in stone, clear these cats, and then Huatli kill the 2/2. I think I'm kind of into that. And then the question is, do I want to play the Maze Mine Tome to scry, or do I want to... I think I want to scry because if I hit a land next turn, it lets me Velockimus. I'm going to leave this back in case they play enough stuff to crew the Ezekiel's Chariot. I think you could do either, Dynasty. I think there's upsides to having it public, but there's also some downsides as well.
No sword can pierce my scales.
No, you're definitely right, Duck Doolittle. Calculating deck strength based on the entire contents of the deck is a lot more difficult. Nailed it. I'm going to send both of these at Sarking, so I want to guarantee take them off the table to work down the devotion on this.
I will consume you.
Oh, right. They can trade their dragon for Velockimus because of Sarkin's trigger. And it's unfortunate. Maybe I should have down-ticked Huatli. I forgot about the flavor text. Sure, I mean, it's definitely difficult to optimize, but it's also not something that has to be optimized overnight, right? Like, this is going to be a permanent queue. So it's definitely something where they could just be like, okay, we're going to slowly tune and tweak this till we get it to a point that we're happy with. That's what it's like, okay, we have to snap our fingers and it has to be perfect by date X. You just, like, continue to massage the details as you get more data in. So they can use this to kill my Planeswalker for the turn if they'd like. I think that's fine for us, though. We have enough mana to recast her next turn if we wanted. Yeah, I mean, under any system, there's going to be people that min-max to the best of their abilities. Just how how life in the world works. Do I do Huatli or do I Sarkhan? I think I Huatli because she makes a 3/3 every turn, whereas this only makes 1/4/4. And it's pretty important that I hit a critical mass of threats here because Klothys is gaining them life every turn, so I really need to get some overwhelming damage in. Plow the monkey here. I think I want this Maze Mind Tome to actually draw cards. So I'm not going to scry with it this turn. I think I've seen comments like yours for a long time now, Nyan Sense. I think they make less sense than ever. Once upon a time, people that were talking about Historic and Pioneer becoming the same thing were somewhat reasonable, but we're past that point in time. Historic is gaining digital-only card designs with Historic Horizons, and the formats are never going to be merged. So I would erase any thought of the formats becoming one out of your mind. It's not happening. So this is 12, 21, and then this is plus 6 is 27. Yeah. Thursday. So this patch, and fingers crossed, not all of the optimism has been beaten out of me yet, but tomorrow there's 5 hours of downtime because they're deploying a new server backend with this patch to prep for this patch. So hopefully, chat, we're going to get a whole lot less waiting for server and other random slowdown issues, and things are going to be snappy and great with this patch. Please, for the love of God, do not make me eat crow on that optimism. What's going on, Emma Cool? Thanks for the follow. Good morning. The server backend, yeah, there's 2 outcomes for this server backend, chat. The first is that I'm gonna have to cancel the open and reschedule it because things are just gonna be fucked for a while. The second is that it's going to be awesome and it's going to fix a lot of the problems we've had. Those are the only 2 possible outcomes here. Which, speaking of, if you're someone that likes tournament magic, and we actually pay out the prizes for our tournaments, you don't have to worry about any runaround. We send you the codes within a week. The Hoaglandia Open Series will be returning on Sunday the 29th, theoretically. So if you want to play in a historic tournament with Sweet New Horizons cards, or if you want to watch a tournament, we do full coverage of those tournaments all day on my channel. The next Open, sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., is coming up. Cards release on Thursday. Tournament is Sunday. Sunday. Alright, we've got Corporate Karn here. It's a nice play this turn. Ooh, that's a thought now. So, I should have played this on white for my Cavalier. That's a mistake. I did press a pick. My weekend just kind of vanished on me. I didn't get a chance to put anything on the website. So do we corporate Karn to try and start drawing lands, or do we Chandra into Arcane Signet? I kind of like Chandra into Arcane Signet, because it guarantees I can do this or this next turn. For anybody that's wondering why this is corporate Karn, you'll note Karn, Scion of Urza, is wearing pants in his artwork here. And if you look at Karn Liberated, you'll note that he is not wearing pants.
Today's my lucky day.
So this is corporate sellout Karn. He's put his business casual on and he's going into the office. Urza was very anti-work from home. They've paid for office space and they're going to use it. Although having Karn work during a pandemic's a lot like having a Roomba go to work, right? He's a robot. How do you check to see if your computer can handle it? You'll want to load up the subs Discord server and just join any of the voice channels in there and share your game screen. That is a good note. If you're someone that's new to the channel and you're thinking about playing in the tournament, it is a requirement to play in the tournament that you're able to screen share your computer, your arena window to Discord upon request. Because Arena does not have a spectator mode, so we do tournament coverage via ad hoc Discord stuff. Which reminds me, I should make sure my Discord's gonna work. Set up second Discord instance. Also need to message Amy about sound check. Amazonian is going to be joining me for coverage next weekend. Oh no, I think our opponent's disconnected. That's Edge. You only need to share your screen for free. That's not true. We start feature matches in round 1. Alright. Well, I'm not going to wait for them to time out again here. There's no prizes. We'll just pack up rather than waiting for it to tick down one more time. I wanted to give them a chance to come back because we are in a somewhat interesting game, but alas. Alas, the Comcast strikes again. Fight me! Thanks for the 20 months. We'll come back. I was gonna ignore Pokemon Unite entirely, and now you have me addicted. It is a lot of fun. Sorry, not sorry. The trick is to play a boring meta deck in O2 drop. That's true. When we select coverage for the Hooglandia Opens, we are incredibly biased towards decks that are sweet. I think we just ripped them apart, right? You're tearing us apart! Good stuff, Steve. Am I casting this? Am I playing this as a land, or am I just, like, putting my cards back into my deck? I think I'm just using it to draw, because I've got some kind of mediocre cards here in the control matchup. That's adorable. I think I'm bottoming the Lorehold command here, too. I think I just want the best chance to find something kind of aggressive as well as lands. This is where the Magic the Gathering happens. Razkaz started the stream this morning with the announcements they would be redeeming Shillionaire. And there you have it, chat. Trickle down Shillonomics in action. Our 41st Shillionaire, making it that much easier for all of you at home. The next Shillionaire now simply needs to obtain 999,959 shillings to achieve the status here. Thanks for watching a bunch, Razkaz. I appreciate it. Exactly. If Razkaz can do it, so can you, chat.
You should surrender
And
now.
feast on their flesh.
And remember, Razkaz, you get a deck submission with that. So if you want to drop something through the form on my site that you'd like to see played, even build around submission. Oh, it helps if I can spell correctly. Build around submissions are good to go too. Just let me know. I do lower the requirement by 1 every time someone redeems it. Listen, chat, we don't miss a chance to shit on late stage capitalism on this stream, okay?
Come!
Alright, well, our opponent is stumbling. So we're gonna go ahead and make some 3-3s and try and give him the beatdown. Now, the way fires and the commander tax interact, they only have to pay the commander tax, right? Is that correct? Oh no, my opponent now has enough lands to cast Twitch chat. I think it's still correct to get rid of their Niv in this instance, though. Because I think our hope here is to, like, tempo them out of this game. We are not going to win by going head-to-head against them as the game goes along. Hey, Brain Eater, thanks for the 7 months. Welcome back. I mean, they can only play 2 spells per turn. Ugh. Alright, I don't think we can beat Culling Ritual, huh?
You want to play with fire, huh? Now you're playing with fire.
If they hadn't hit Culling Ritual here, I think we actually had a real shot. I think that one killing our tokens puts us too far behind. Even Time Wipe wouldn't have been that bad. Morning, Ash World.
I am out of here.
Oh, they're Time Wiping instead of Culling. Okay, deal. Oh, they drew Field of the Dead. Sure. Yeah, people always ask me, Jeff, what will you do if Shillionaire becomes like 50 shillings? And I figure at that point, if I've had almost 1 million people watch the amount of required hours that it takes to get all those other points, yeah, we'll be good to go. Historic Horizons is Thursday. Zazu. I think it's something like 1,500 hours of watch time to get to about 1 million shillings. So even accounting for the fact that it goes down 1 shilling per, if you average it at 500,000, there's about 800 hours of of watch time. So 800 hours of watch time times, you know, 1 million people or so. Yeah, and that's even before you account for people spending shillings deck voting occasionally. I draw a card now, it keeps me to tap land. Boom. Boom shakalaka. Kalia seems sweet. Solid card advantage on your commander. Hey, Mop. Thank you for the 19 months. Welcome back. What happens if somebody gets Shillionaire twice? Well, they just further accelerate the trickle down. There's a few people that are working on their second Shillionaire, I know. Swing and a miss. The second one's tax deductible because it's for charity. Okay, so we get to start jamming some dragons next turn. I wonder if I'm just supposed to cast this as a gain 7 there. I guess I'm drawing a card. We pay taxes here in Oaklandia? Yep. Excuse me? Speaking of taxes, there was this fun little article, and by fun I mean, of course it worked out this way, that I shared a pair of on the internet over the weekend, that corporations paid approximately $91 billion less in taxes under the GOP's budget reconciliation tax changes, while individuals paid about 90 billion more. Which is just a good reminder that you should always pay attention to what the details are that these politicians are putting into action to see who they're actually helping and who they're hurting. And you'll see consistently that while the Democrats are not perfect, they're doing things that are largely helping normal people far more frequently. It was a solid balance. Alright, so now the question is, do I Teferi's protection here and Huatli, or do I YOLO the Velockimus? To the person that I just banned for being a both sides fucko. You must be new to this channel. Feel free to fuck on off to a different one where I'll tolerate you parroting bullshit. It'll never not fail to astound me how many people will post stuff when I point out things that are helping people and hurting people with specifics how people post vague generics along the lines of, but Jeff, they're helping themselves more. Really? Show me the fucking receipts and I'll unban you. Let me know how that works out for you before you spread some fun on my channel. I know you feel like this big-brained enlightened centrist when you talk about how they're all bad. And then when you do that, you're ignoring the realities of things like, you know, the tax difference that I pointed out with the GOP's plan that actually happened. And things like what the Democrats recently passed through with budget reconciliation, like that gave the tax credit to people with children and gave an extra stimulus payment to everyone. I think we're just YOLOing this at this point, right? Think we're just YOLOing this at this point? It's for the Prime Cleaver Green. The question is, do I Huatli and make this not block? Probably. Yeah, I think we YOLO to stop the blocking. Actually, do we? I'm just hoping to hit a sweeper, right? Yeah, okay, I'm gonna go for the super high roll here. I'm gonna Velocamiss, I'm gonna gain 5, and then we're gonna hope to hit a sweeper.
Their strength is your strength.
Ooh, it could have been right to play the Baneslayer, that's true. Five mana sweeper, please. Yikes. Alright. Alright. Oh, we're halfway there. Oh, lizard on a chair. Okay, I mean, that sequence could have gone worse for us. Oh no, we're gonna lose our Baneslayer. Big Sedge. It did look like that. No, they were responding to somebody else that had tagged them. I literally just clicked on Canadian's message too to see if they were responding to themselves. Because I did a double take too. I was like, wait, what? Are they talking to themselves? Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and attack with these since we drew Solar Blaze. With this Ember Cleave and the Frost Tongue in play, I definitely want to kill this turn. So I think we do this. And then I think we go ahead and blaze it. And then we can Baneslayer. And then do I gain 5 or do I make a 3/3? I think I gain 5 because then that gives me a removal spell sitting in play. Because this can down tick to deal X damage. So we're a little bit ahead on board, but opponent is up a significant number of cards in hand. Their commander's up to 7, so they can't play their commander and do other things. Depending on what their other cards are, they might not be able to have a double spell turn this turn. And if they can't double spell, I feel like we're in a pretty okay spot. Yeah, if it's just like Terror or Equip. Yeah, this seems great for us, right? Wow, that's a great draw. Yeah, I'm in for Corporate Karn. I think I'd rather do this than play Grandmaster this turn. And then if I do this, we theoretically have Lethal next turn, right? Yeah, the fact that they weren't able to double spell that turn was everything. The 3/3s on Huatli have been really fantastic.
How dare you!
How dare you! Crawly beat! That extra mana source that beats down. Love to see it. Put more lands in your deck, chat. There's so many good utility. That's another reason, too. Not only do I frequently talk about people needing to put more lands in their deck so that way they can cast their spells more consistently, there's so many good utility lands in this format. That, like, they just do stuff like that. I do that. This blue-red ramp deck was great. Control. Feel free to suck it. Get him out of here. Kaya the Inexorable. This is probably fine. Have a good one, Ghosty. Stay safe out there. I think we're gonna do some regular historic after this. I wanna play some Dead Guy Ale. It looks like your sub is currently lapsed, Roth. There's no icon next to your name, at least. My body is ready to get punished for ditching this Wrath of God here. I'm gonna do it. Yeah, I've had a few people tell me they've been playing red-white tokens to good success. I got banners for both red-white tokens as well as, I got banners for red-white tokens and, the blue-red ramp deck to throw them up at my site. It's saying that your sub isn't available until September 10th. You should double check if you didn't use your Prime sub, Roth. They've definitely had issues in the past with accounts getting their passwords taken and their Prime used on other people. You should double check where your Prime sub is currently used in case you have a security breach. Strange Journey, thanks for the sub gifty. You should definitely check that, Roth, because it probably got used somewhere else, and if you didn't use it, you wanna sort that out. Bear Z, thanks for the follow. That reminds me. I think I forgot to put in the queue. We had a Gitrog submission for one of our recent Shillionaires. We'll get into that one on Wednesday, I think. Hey, Black Hockey GG. Thanks for the brand new Prime supports, folks. This is my full-time gig, and I wouldn't be able to be here without support like that, so thanks for keeping me around. Oh, did our opponent DC? That's big sad. Christy and I... Oh, good, they're back. Christy and I have not been watching that much television recently because our together time has been being spent playing Pokemon Unite. Join for the magic and sub for the hot social commentary. You'll love my Twitter if you subject yourself to that hellscape. If you don't subject yourself to the hellscape that is Twitter, you're a stronger person than I am. But if you do partake, there's a lot of good ones up there too. Hey, thanks for the Prime, Rufio. Back to the command zone you go, Huatli. So I think we want to Pirates Pillage this turn. She goes down to 2 after she down ticks, so I think Bone Daddy's probably a card worth keeping, so we can stomp her after she exiles something. So I think I'm going to ditch the Cathartic Reunion here. Alright, if they hit their land drop this turn, Loyal Warhound gets us a land next turn at least. Noise? So they're gonna be getting back... What's it called next turn? They're gonna tick Kaya up to 6, yeah? Oh wow, they have a 1-mana removal spell here too. Brutal. Hey, thanks for 11 months, Hemmingsway. We're gonna go ahead and do this to start. My spells are about to stay expensive here because their Redeem is about to come into play. I think I'm just supposed to play a 4-3 out here. Yeah, the Redeem's going to come back with a 1-1 counter on it, and then Kaya's going to put a Ghost Form counter on it. So it feels like we're in a pretty bad way here. Or tapped dual lands. Depends on the format. So in 60 card constructed, a mix of basics is probably better. In EDH here in Brawl, it's a little bit slower and more forgiving on average, so I'd probably recommend playing the tapped dual lands for the fixing. Yeah, I have a Field of the Dead, and if you're playing Field of the Dead, you want to split your basics. Let's send these here. Depending on how they block, this Lorehold command could go really well. So we'll make Indestructible kill this. Yeah, it's a little bit too set up at this point. Let's try to get one more good W on the board with Huatli here. I've liked the play style of this deck. Like kind of mid-rangey, but leans controlling while being mid-rangey. And then, speaking of mid-rangey but leans aggressive, we're gonna play some Dead Guy AL. as our third and final Magic deck today for some regular Historic. Definitely take our free mulligan here with no red mana and some double red cards. Yeah, this is pretty reasonable. Honestly, I think even if they had no answer there, we were probably still in a bit of trouble that last game. We just weren't in needs to concede trouble. Radine is so good against Huatli. Do this to start and see what we get. Do I want to bolt to Thrill of Possibility? I think so, because I think it's important that I be able to hit a land drop next turn. The Triumphant Adventure make the cut into deal. It did not. I like Triumphant Adventure inside of Black-White Shadow, because it helps hammer your life total to play Shadow sooner. But in Dead Guy, I think there's other better 2-drops. And then what am I getting rid of here? Probably Mila. These are all better defensive tools. Hey, Shellers. Thanks for the 32 months. I appreciate the Prime. Welcome back. And we'll have a deck list for Dead Guy up in a second. Once we get that started, obviously, it'll appear on the tapped out, on the overlay. Or the untapped, not on the overlay. Trying to decide if they want to use that or not. Decided with not. Huatli seems pretty good in this matchup. It only creates a parade of blockers, but also can gain us life. So I think we just get her going to start. The longer she stays out, the more blockers we get. Their commander, while it costs 4, isn't scary until a little bit later once they get their hand emptied. Seems how many things in the bin? Need 4 or more, and there's only 1. Okay, and Conspiracy Theorist means that well, it means they have Fateful End. That's cute.
No journey is painless.
So, with the land draw here, do I just like go attack for 1, Chandra -3, Huatli make a 3/3? I think so.
If you haven't heard of me, check out these fireworks.
Come, sing the song of fame.
Sing, allow me to sing you the song of my people. Okay.
I kind of crashed and burned here.
Another white source would be great, because Cavalier's big enough to block this. Untapped land lets us replay Huatli. Tapped land's fine. Means I get to do this into this. She's been sweet. We've used every mode on her, yeah. I like her design a lot. Yeah, I think we're ahead at the moment.
Might demands power.
Yeah, I think she would have been safe at 4 mana. I agree with that. that's a fair assessment. Maybe I'm supposed to crack the Mind Stone to dig for the white source for the Cavalier. That's kind of a scary one for them to have in play. Hey, Huatli, thanks for the prime. Welcome to the channel this morning. Yeah, this one ended up being pretty reasonable. This is definitely exactly the style of deck I really enjoy playing in Magic. We were kind of mid-rangey, but we also had this kind of aggressive slant that was facilitated very nicely by Huatli at different points. Had really decent card advantage with our different planeswalkers and her ability to gain us life against aggro, push damage against control when we were ready to close things out, or even just go up the board like we did in that last game a little bit was all quite fantastic. Definitely think the number of lands that we ended up on, so we ended up plus 5 lands from the original submission. Play more lands in your decks, chat, especially when you want to cast these 5 then 7 mana spells consistently. When you eventually recast them, you will lose way more games to stumbling than you will to flooding in this format, especially. So many, and you can look here, right, we're at 39 lands, and I've only got 18 basics, right? So there's so many gas utility lands you can play in this format too, which is awesome. All right, let's shift gears